Hi everybody, this is Metal Kaiju here, and today I'm going to talk about the new Bryan Cranston Godzilla 2014 interview. Now, this E.T. Canada, which is a YouTuber, YouTube of course, why would not be called a YouTuber, is actually interviewing one of Godzilla 2014's most known characters, Bryan Cranston. And on this interview, there's actually on this channel is actually a little kind of like a teaser trailer about it. So I'll put this teaser trailer or video as a link in the description below for you can check it out. It's kind of like a teaser trailer. It's 17 seconds long. In the interview, it's gonna be Bryan Cranston E.T. Canada is gonna interview Bryan Cranston, and the topic is gonna be Godzilla. So, good interview. And the interview is tomorrow. So that's going to be very awesome. The teaser trailer, I guess it's a teaser trailer, I guess you can call it. It's only 17 seconds long. Pretty short, but it kind of does give you a bit of information. This is actually pretty exciting since tomorrow we're going to get this little interview with Bryan Cranston talking about, Godzilla 2014 and, all this great stuff. Talk about the... it's just kind of like talking about, just the film and, how they did this and the acting, stuff like that. Hopefully we get some, little information about the film, about, how Bryan Cranston's character are going to be kind of, or maybe, stuff like that. How, Juliette Binoche dies and stuff like that. It's only 17 seconds long, but it kind of does give you information. The first scene we see is Bryan Cranston saying, "This is Bryan Cranston here on E.T. Canada" and stuff like that. And it looks like his face is bloody, so that means he looks like he's really gonna get injured in this film. It kind of looks like in this film he's gonna survive. He's not gonna be a dead victim from the incident. Looks like he's gonna survive, but he is very, very weak. Now, we'll just watch this video without volume just in case, the whole copyright strike or third-party content stuff. So, yeah, and then, he talks about that, and then he does his interpretation of the Godzilla roar. And then we see a scene with this camera panning up, looking at this helicopter. Then there's going to be, like, this helicopter in the scene. And then we also see another scene where there's, like, a cameraman is taking camera of Ken Watanabe pointing at something, there's some buildings in the backgrounds, and he's pointing at something, and a soldier is right next to him. So that's pretty awesome, pretty cool. That means this could actually be one of the opening shots of the film, where Godzilla rises up from the ocean, the depths of the ocean, and then all this crazy stuff. And then we see another part where they're about to film the part. Oh, I think this is a part where this part is Bryan Cranston with this how do you call those things? The thing up there, what's it called? I forgot what it's called. It's white, and it looks like he's very injured, and it has to be wrapped around his head. And they're taking him. It looks like these blue men, I don't know what this is supposed to be, but he's injured, and it looks like you see Aaron Taylor Johnson in the background, but I don't think that has to do anything with it. And also in the background, you kind of see what looks like kind of destroyed part of a tiny little house or something. Pretty interesting. It looks like this movie's gonna take place in daytime, not just gonna all be in dark time or whatever. And then more scenes of that part. He's decapitated, I guess. He's in this what's he called whenever there's this injured person and stuff like that. And then he has blood. And then E.T. Canada interviewing Bryan Cranston, and then Godzilla roaring from the teaser trailer. It's pretty awesome. It's gonna be tomorrow, so stay tuned for that tomorrow. It's gonna be a very, very cool interview. Hopefully we get a little bit of info about the whole information about Godzilla 2014, maybe about what the Muto looked like, what's their inspiration of the Muto creatures, or maybe about the Muto, the secret organization, maybe what Bryan Cranston's character is like. Or what other thing? Plenty other stuff. Or what the backgrounds, how's the background gonna be? Is it gonna be daytime, nighttime? All this stuff. So I very look forward towards that. So yeah, subscribe, like, and comment. I'll put this video as a link in the description below where you can check it out. It's just a 17-second teaser trailer, so don't be upset about it. But you know, it does give you a little bit of information. But anyways, then for this video, subscribe, like, and comment. This is Metal Kaiju signing out.